Your lack of discipline isn't entirely your fault. It is very unnatural to work a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and maybe even some overtime on the weekend, and then expect to still have the same mental capacity and energy to show up for yourself in whatever way that may be. I feel like a lot of times we forget the type of society we live in, how we're required to pay all these bills and all these taxes, and don't let us have children. It can be very overwhelming when you start to look at yourself and feel less than because your body isn't how social media says it should be, and your money isn't how these rich people say it should be, or these alpha omega gurus. You start to feel less than. You start to put more pressure on you and say that it's your fault, when in reality, it's the society we live in. By nature, we are supposed to be, for lack of a better word, living off of land. We're supposed to be primitively enjoying the fruits of nature, with even some industrial components added, for comfort, like a home, a car. We're still not supposed to be stressing the way that we are. A lot of times when we look at ourselves and try to process why we are still in the rut that we're in, or why we haven't grown, oftentimes it is because of the society we live in. And I keep making that point because you have to give yourself grace and understanding that this is not how we are supposed to live. Of course, show up for yourself the best way you can. I'm not saying that being disciplined is not your responsibility, but in reality, it is very challenging to consistently show up for yourself when you have different components of life pulling you in different ways, i.e., spreading yourself too thin. And in doing so, when you finally are able to sit down and have time to yourself, you don't feel as if you deserve leisure because your works aren't reflected in your life. Does that make sense? I say all of that to say this. Slow down. Give yourself grace. Give yourself mercy. Because if it was up to you, life wouldn't look the way that it does. But what is up to you is your mindset. What is up to you is the way you treat yourself and show up for yourself when you can. Self-love does not happen overnight. Clearing your debt does not happen overnight. Simply trying to be a perfect person does not exist. The pressures of life are so uneasy. The way that we go about life is so unnatural. So it is very unnatural to think that you would accomplish everything in just 24 hours or a weekend. Just think about it. Monday through Friday, you're working 8 hours a day. That Friday night kind of feels like a Saturday Eve. Then you have the 24 hours of Saturday, which in reality may be 16 if you're using 8 to sleep. Heck, maybe even use 12 to sleep. Then you have 12 hours, not even of entire daylight, to get things done if those specific places are open. And then to do something for yourself, which for a lot of us means drinking, smoking, chilling at the crib. And then on Sunday, for those who are spiritual or religious, when you don't feel like going to church, you get depressed. Like, I should be giving it all to God and should be in that atmosphere. When in reality, you're psychologically preparing yourself for another work week. Don't feel guilty for only having 24 hours to decompress what it took 40 hours to create. It is okay. It is okay. So while you are disciplining yourself, understand we did not ask to be a part of this society. We did not ask to be here. Give yourself grace. Keep working on yourself one day at a time, and you'll get there.